Just think of the most German name and you get close.
Hello everybody and welcome to Writers on Film. This is the second report coming from Cannes Film Festival, the 79th edition of Cannes Film Festival, and I am joined by the German journalist Thomas Schultz.
Yes, that's right.
Who do you write? You're an editor and a writer as well, Thomas. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. I'm an editor for the Spot Media and Film, which is trade publication in Germany. Started it 2 years ago, and we're doing fine.
Excellent. So it's good to hear about it. So let's just talk about your highlights of the film festival so far.
Yes. They are few this year. I feel the festival, I think, started great with Fatherland, which was on the second day of the festival, which I still think is the best film overall. I think it's a flat-out masterpiece. I did like Gentle Monster. I'm in the minority here, but
Someone's taken. It's taken.
But I think it's really strong. I particularly liked La Vie d'une Femme by Charline Bourgeois-Taquet. I finally got the name down, which I found mesmerizing and I thought had the best female performance so far by Lea Drucker. By now I feel like if you know she's in the movie, it's going to be something special, and if it's just for her. And I thought Hope was special. Na Hong Jin, his fourth movie, I think. The first 65 movie just completely flattened me. I thought that was, the best 65 minutes I saw in Cannes, because or wherever you could see it, because I just think it's completely steamrolling you what he does there. The problem I feel is that for the other 95 minutes of the film is falling apart. It somehow doesn't feel finished, I would say.
It's weird that, because I was writing a review about it yesterday, and it was actually filmed in 2023.
Yes.
A lot of the principal photography. So the idea that, and it's also the most expensive Korean film ever made. So the idea that, and you can see it, it's all on the screen. That doesn't surprise me so much. But the idea that it could come to Cannes, having filmed in 2023, and not have its visual effects entirely complete, it seems a bit baffling.
Yeah. Well, I know that, 2 years ago, we always do these reports which films could be showing in Cannes, and I know that we already had Hope on the list 2 years ago, because people were going because it was filmed. Nobody knew what it was going to be about. It was kept a secret until the screening. And already 2 years ago, we were thinking that it might play in Cannes. Last year we had it on the list again, so this year we had it on the list. Funnily enough, 2 years ago it was called Hope Part 1.
Well, he does say that he has written a sequel already. He announced that at the press conference, and so hopefully, there you go. There's a word we're going to be using a lot in reviews and features. Yeah. He will hold on to that. I think that'll be a good. It feels like a film that needs a franchise, or not necessarily a franchise, but certainly a part two.
Yes. Well. It ends with the promise of a part two, whatever that part two might be, which, if you go by the ending, would be a completely different animal, because he's going to just switch protagonists. But I'm not want to give away too much.
Right.
I just feel the movie is completely bonkers and insane, sometimes in a fantastic way, sometimes in a not so fantastic way.
Absolutely. I went for it. I didn't really mind the ending as much. I know lots of people have been saying that it gets a little bit too repetitive and all this sort of stuff. I do think it is a movie of two parts. You're absolutely right in that sense. But I enjoyed the second part as well. And,
No. I'm not saying it is. The second part is just not as insanely good as the first.
Right, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, the bar is set very, very high. So we're going to talk about a specific film that we've both seen quite recently and has come on later. It's one of
Yes.
the later competition titles, and this is Minotaur, a Russian film by the director of Leviathan. I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm going to give you the honors.
Andrey Zvyagintsev.
Wow, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yes.
So this is the guy, as I said, he's been in Cannes before. He makes very interesting films which have a real heft to them. They feel, there's a certain humour to them as well, but that humour is very Russian and dry. But it's a top class work. So, what was your take on his latest film?
It's a little unfair to really talk about right now because it just came out of the press screening. I was in the early morning press screening.
Yeah, same here.
But I mean, my first reaction, I mean, even while I was watching it, I mean, this is hands down the Palme d'Or. I feel that Fatherland is the better movie.
Right.
And it's probably, I mean, a movie that'll hold up for a long time, but I feel Minotaur is a movie of our times. It is, I thought it was flat out fabulous.
Yes.
Telling this story of what can you say, crime of passion, a Russian tragedy of a dissolving marriage, but through the specter of the war,
Yes.
which is everywhere in this film. And the film, without making it the story of the film, it is a story about the special military operation that is happening right now.
Absolutely, it's constantly there, isn't it? It's constantly in the background and in the foreground, and it's really effectively used that, and it sort of does enter into the story because characters in the film are kind of cynically using the war in order to further their own ends in terms of the crime that has been committed. I mean, obviously, whenever a Russian makes a film in which someone might gets killed halfway through, you do have to think of something like Crime and Punishment and Dostoevsky and a legacy of this kind of sort of what might these days be called elevated crime. If you like, I mean, if you think Dostoevsky's brothers Karamazov and Crime and Punishment are both essentially murder stories, and here we have another one.
Yes.
What did you find so impressive then in terms of the? I know you've just watched it; it's just sinking in.
Well, first off, I think it's a marvelously done film. Like technically, it looks great, absolutely fantastic. The way it is lit, the way it is shot, the whole costume design. I mean, everything. I just feel is top notch and first rate. I got really involved in the story. I felt. I mean, it's about like. I'm not sure if it's an oligarch already, but he's an industrialist, like running like one of the 5 biggest companies in the town. Lives like in this fabulous house that I would move in a heartbeat.
Absolutely beautiful. There's quite a lot of sort of property porn in the movie, and it's always funny with these sort of things where everybody lives in these beautiful houses. No one seems to enjoy them very much.
Yes, but I've never seen such a beautiful house in a Russian film because
Right.
usually, I mean, you get like all these drab surroundings. I mean, even Zvyagintsev, the last movie he did before 10 years ago,
Yeah.
almost 8 years ago, I think, was Loveless.
Right.
Just, I mean, everything is dreary and people are, downbeat. Here you have like people are dressed like in the nicest clothes you can think of. They have money. They are wealthy. They are educated. So,
Take this because because I thought someone was coming back, but they're not.
so I mean, he shows a very different Russia from what you are used to. I mean, even if he goes into the smallish town, I mean, you see it's not the most affluent town, but they have like modern cafes. They have nice restaurants, like all the things that you would probably align more with Western society, I feel. So I mean, they are used to their money and to their influence and to their richness, but of course, like the company already feels the war.
Yeah. I mean, but even, someone says at one point as well, just recruit people. There's loads of people what need work, and so there is a sense that despite the churn of recruitment, there's also going to be plenty of these companies are going to be to some degree affected, but also they're going to be okay in the end. And one of the things I was saying about people using the war is when he gets into the mayor's office and he needs a favour, and the mayor in return says, oh well, our soldiers need this and this, and he's like, oh yeah, I will take care of it, don't worry about it. And I'm sure all of that this and this body armour, whatever, is not necessarily all going to go to the soldiers. You get a feeling that they're creating a slush fund that is just going to be siphoned off.
Yeah, well, I agree. I just completely loved when the mayor calls in the 5 most important industrial guys in town, and he says he has a quota to fulfill because they're mobilizing, and his community has to do its share. He has a set number, a set quota he has to fulfill, and he passes this on to the industrialists. The 2 richest ones have to each find 25 guys from their company, and the other 3 have to find 14 guys.
Yeah.
So and there's no discussion. I mean, they will have to, fill out the papers a week from that point on, and you will have to find 14 names from your company that you will devote to the war. And I love the fact that how he goes about. Gleb is the name of the
main
protagonist. That he recruits 14 new people to his company, so he doesn't have to give away personnel from his company that he knows, people that make the company work.
And that he has some sort of personal relationship to as well.
Yes, exactly.
He's worked with them for years, and I mean, I have to say that the cast is exceptional. Dmitry Mazurov is the actor who plays Gleb, and he's just got this very he's a working stiff guy. I mean, he's the director of the company, but he's an apparatchik who gets stuff done, and he wears his power quite. He's worrisome, and he's always. You see him lose his temper once, but it's not like he's really,
Yes.
It's not really like he's throwing his weight around, other than the fact that, he's just in a tight situation, he's got a lot to do.
Yeah, I also felt he was a likable person, he's
Yeah.
like not a caricature of,
Absolutely.
like a greedy industrialist.
Absolutely, that's exactly it. And his wife is played by Iris Lebedeva, and she has the name. She's called Galina, the wife. And I thought between them all, there was this interesting idea of gender relationships. They go out for dinner, and there's someone who's just divorced his wife and taken up with a woman who is sort of a much younger version, basically a trophy wife, if you like. And there's this sense of like these women are on very precarious ground, because at any point their husbands could just sort of shed them.
Well, everyone in this movie can easily be discarded. I think that's pretty much what it's about, right?
Yeah, and disposableness.
Yes.
I mean, there was a wonderful image in this film of a billboard being taken down, and the phrase on the billboard is, our heroes will live forever, and it's sort of like, well, no, because there's a new one,
Yes.
there's a new martyr to put up on the billboard, so this one's gone down. I mean, this film has this wonderful sort of. I agree with you on a technical aspect, the way he just shoots it, frames it, moves the camera. Without too many bravura shots, there are still bravura shots.
Yes.
And the ending of the film, I think, is particularly good, and the use of sort of he's somebody who knows a symbol when he sees it and is willing to let his camera rest on that,
Yeah.
but without it being facile.
Yeah, absolutely. No, to me, it felt he was in total control of what he wanted to say, what he wanted to do, what he wanted to tell, and I feel it's particularly interesting. I mean, it's a minority German co-production. I talked to the German co-producer.
Where was it shot? Because I'm assuming it's not shot in Russia.
I could not tell.
I think under some of the co-productions there was a Latvian co-production credit as well. So.
Right. Well, there is German money in it, and I talked to him because, well, I mean, it is common knowledge that Zvyagintsev was fighting for his life during COVID because he had a reaction to the Sputnik shot that he got, and he was on death's door, and he was in a coma for a while.
Yeah.
And it took him like 1 or 2 years just to regain his strength. Apparently he's fine now again, and he
no long-term effects, hopefully.
Yeah, well, not that we know of at least, but well, I'm happy that he regained his strength to be able to have made this film, and you sort of feel it that he I mean, I love Leviathan. I think it's like one of the really great Russian films of the tens, but this may be even better because it feels like more. There seems a certain passion behind having made this film.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering about the Leviathan sort of combination, whether it or comparison. I'm not, excuse me, not entirely sure it is better, and that has been one of the things that has been one of the things that has been a little bit disappointing about this whole festival, is seeing filmmakers who sort of second best films in there. And I think this is very high. I agree, but the Correda, the Mungju, there's quite a few filmmakers who came up with stuff that there were Moldova last night. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not. The film is partly about trading on former glories.
Yes. No, I agree. I mean, there's only so much movies you can choose from each year, and then it always depends on if you really get what you want to have. So, I mean, bar 2 films, I've seen everything in competition so far, and I feel like at least every movie to me makes sense that it is in competition, but I agree with all the big name filmmakers that are in there. Even if I like the films and I do like most of them, I always feel they've already made better movies. So I think that's a little bit the crux of this festival. But with my 2 favorites, I mean, of course, Pavel Pawlikowski has made Ida and won an Oscar for that, and he has made Cold War, which was a masterpiece as well. But I think Fatherland is up there with those other 2, and I feel, I mean, even if you say like maybe if Minotaur is not as good as Leviathan, but at least it's up there,
Absolutely. Sorry about the coughing, Thomas.
Not a problem. You have to edit it out.
No, I don't. I was just going to keep it's going to be in. Yeah, warts
right.
and all. I'm so sorry about that.
Not
apologies,
a problem.
Apologies to the listener. Apologies to the people who sit next to me at the screenings after have to listen to that. The strepsils being sucked.
Right. What's if I may say what I find. I mean, there's a good point to be made to show Fatherland and Minotaur back to back, because I feel they're kind of interrelated in a way, thematically, but also I feel they are the 2 movies with the best last shots of the festival. The last shot of the Pawlikowski is absolutely for the ages. I mean, it's a very short movie. It's 82 minutes long. I mean, it feels like a full meal. It feels like a David Lean movie in a way,
Right.
because he just found a way to parse information in a way that, everything's in there, but you do not feel the weight of the film and what it has done to you while you watch it until the last scene. And it really, the effect that it had on me, I mean, I was leaving this, I saw the film before the festival. I was leaving the theater and going to the subway, and on the way to the subway I just suddenly had tears rolling down my face, because somehow the movie
Just so powerful.
struck me, especially those last images. And I feel it's almost the same with the Zvyagintsev, which I thought was a great movie, but that final shot that he does, that it just kept lingering on there and just gives you time to absorb what you've just seen, what you've just witnessed. But I thought it's quite fabulous.
Yeah, and I think as well a sort of title that is very resonant as well. The Minotaur, and we have Crete in there. We have characters who put themselves in labyrinths.
Yes.
Just a wonderfully rich visual text.
Yes.
And also the soundtrack I thought was as ever, as it was in Leviathan as well. Had the soundtrack was absolutely brilliant. It was by Evgeny Galperin and Sasha Galperin, presumably related in some way, but really, really powerful, wonderful soundtrack. Right, so all that remains is to... actually, before we go, what are you looking forward to in the rest of the festival?
Well, there's not too much to be seen anymore.
Right.
I mean, of course, I'm looking forward to the Lucas Dont movie,
Coward.
I mean, his last one was so good, Close. That was,
Loved it, yeah.
It was just beautiful and won the Grand Prix. So that'll be interesting. I mean, he's still young. He's 35 now, I think. It's his third film. It's about people going to war in the First World War. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm kind of like hoping that Histoire de la Nuit by Léa Musius might be something special. I mean, she's a really good screenwriter. She helped writing Emilia Perez, and she co-wrote the Audiard movie before that, Les Olympiades, together with Céline Sciamma. And I really liked the movie she did before the Five Devils, which was shown in Cannes three or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's not perfect, but good enough or interesting enough for me to look forward to what she's come up next.
Wonderful. Thank you once more, Thomas, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Thanks for having me, John, and let's hope for a good last, 3 days now?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. They make it super simple. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with coverage options tailored to your choices. Plus, you'll see which discounts you may qualify for, like the online quote discount or savings for paying in full. In fact, 99% of Progressive Auto customers earn at least one discount. See if you could save when you switch to Progressive. You'll feel good about making a savvy choice. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little extra cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.